For more, we welcome in CBS NFL analyst and host of All Things Covered, our guy Bryant McFadden. B-Mac, Browns take care of the Giants 17-13 in what was largely a battle of the two deep. No real star power to be found in this one, rather depth on display. I'm handing you the clicker in the film room on Monday morning. What are the big teaching points on both sides of this matchup?
Well, let's look at the Cleveland Browns first and foremost, right? Kevin Stefanski, he definitely was in his play calling bag. I mean, he was dialing up some nice heat offensively. Case Keenum was able to orchestrate the offense ideally, and they just was doing an unbelievable job in being able to dominate in the trenches with their offensive linemen. Granted, you said this was basically a game of the two deeps on both sides of the football, but the depth is something that I definitely caught my eye for the Cleveland Browns, because they had depth in many different positions throughout this ball game, and they were able to execute. And when you transition to the New York Giants, they played a pretty good football game. Mike Glennon is an experienced backup quarterback. I think they definitely need to have an experienced guy at the backup role for that position. He did some pretty nice things. I like Booker, what I saw from Booker at the running back position as well. They're just still trying to figure out who they are as a football club to be able to be more consistent and, most importantly, be physical.
Yeah, everyone will have to work through the physical attrition of an NFL season, and that two deep will at some point, to some degree, for every one of these franchises, will make its debut at some point. So we're getting to see maybe a little bit of that here on display Sunday. As was mentioned, no Daniel Jones, no Saquon, no Galladay, no Baker, no Jarvis, no Chubb, no Odell. Now, some of those guys are working back from injury, others simply just valuing rest over reps. In your playing experience, when you had that top spot on the depth chart already locked up, did you still want a series or two in the preseason to at least feel someone across from you, or are you in line with the current approach by a growing number of these head coaches?
Well, I wanted to participate just to kind of get the game blood flowing a little bit, being able to establish the chemistry with the entire group of guys on the football field, especially if you were a guy that was around that 3 to 4 year mark. You know what I mean? Being able to understand, I am a starter, but I want to make sure that once week 1 is off and running, I'm running as well. So that's why I was a bit surprised to see Daniel Jones not in the lineup at all in today's ball game. I feel like this is a very, very important year for Daniel Jones. Some may say this is a make or break year for Daniel Jones. I mean, year 2 with Jason Garrett as the play caller there for the Giants. This will be year 3 for Daniel Jones, and it's time for him to be able to show the organization I can be a consistent guy. You look at what he did last year, Joe. He's so inconsistent. 11 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, roughly over 2,900 yards throwing. We know about the turnovers. He has to be smarter with the football. So me personally, a guy like Daniel Jones, he needs as many reps as he can get to be able to be consistent. And especially when you look at the pressure that he's under in the entire organization, I think a guy like Daniel Jones definitely needed to be able to at least play a series or two in today's matchup.
Yeah, there's really no simulation for actually getting out there and seeing it in front of you. And as for the position players and the guys in the trenches, you know better than anybody, that week 1 cardio can sneak up on you a little bit. That in-game feeling feels a little bit different on week 1. So we'll see how this all bears out, as these coaches do tend to sit their players, and star players for that matter, even through the 3rd game here in the preseason.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.